Well, not all K-dramas are created equal. Some are cinematic masterpieces that redefine the genre, and some make you question every life choice that led you to click play. Today, we're diving deep into the chaotic, binge-worthy, and sometimes just plain, why did I watch this? World of K-dramas on Netflix. This is every level of K-drama on Netflix explained. Let's go! Level 1, Hot Mess Express. Ah yes, the bottom of the barrel, the graveyard of wasted potential, misused talent, and production meetings that probably should have just been emails. These are the dramas that feel like fever dreams, unhinged, overproduced, and unintentionally hilarious. You don't hate them, but you can't exactly defend them either.
야, 이 씨발아. 뭐야?
먹어. 젤라또야.
미나 씨. 아, 젤라또구나.
Take Chicken Nugget, for example. Yes, Chicken Nugget. Kim Yoo-jung, one of the brightest, most bankable actresses in Korea, literally becomes a fried chicken nugget. You think it's a metaphor? Maybe a deep commentary on identity, consumerism, or late capitalism. Nope. She's just a chicken nugget, a perfectly breaded, deep-fried, golden brown snack. And what's wild? The show takes itself dead seriously. At some point, you stop trying to follow the story and start questioning your own decisions. You're not watching for answers anymore. You're watching out of respect for the sheer confidence. It's like the show dared itself to see how far it could go before Netflix said, wait, we approve this? And then there's So Not Worth It. If Chicken Nugget is pure chaos, So Not Worth It is chaos with a laugh track.
야, 저 운동화 내 운동화 같지 않냐?
아니야.
아, 네 거 아니야.
아, 내 거 맞아. 맞다고.
아니야. 야지 마.
아니라고.
뭐예요?
It's Netflix's first attempt at a Korean sitcom, an international dorm in Seoul filled with foreign and Korean students navigating love, friendships, culture shocks, and cringe-inducing punchlines. It's bright, energetic, and kind of fun, but it never quite knows what it wants to be. One moment, it's a rom-com, the next, it's slice of life, then suddenly, it's a parody of itself. The result? A watch that's not totally unwatchable, but definitely not as funny as it thinks it is. Still, you kind of have to respect it for trying to blend Western-style sitcom energy with K-drama heart. Emphasis on trying. Level 2, the K-dramas with an identity crisis. These dramas look like K-dramas. They sound like K-dramas. They've got the moody color grading, over-the-shoulder stares, and killer OSTs. But the second you press play, something feels off. It's not that they're bad exactly, they're just confused. Maybe the pacing's weird, too slow for a thriller, too fast for a romance. Maybe the writing feels sterile, like it was workshopped by 10 anxious executives and one very tired algorithm. Or maybe it's the vibe. They're trying so hard to scream prestige global content that they forget to actually be a K-drama. These are the dramas that scream prestige television in the marketing, but halfway through, you realize they're having an existential crisis. They're trying to please everyone, Western audiences, local fans, critics, algorithms, and end up pleasing no one.
네, 여기 을지로 3가에 있는 분식집인데요. 예, 여기서 핸드폰을 주웠거든요.
Take Somebody. On paper, it's got everything. A creepy dating app, a mysterious killer, tech noir aesthetics. But the execution? Cold, distant, and emotionally flat. Or Memories of the Alhambra. AR gaming, a European setting, Hyun Bin in a trench coat. All the makings of a sci-fi classic. But instead, it's a glitchy, exposition-heavy slow burn that never connects. And then there's Hierarchy, Netflix's attempt at a high school drama with prestige packaging. Rich teens, secrets, scandals. It should have been The Glory Meets Gossip Girl. Instead, it feels like a perfume commercial stretched over 6 episodes. Gorgeous visuals, designer uniforms, dramatic stares, but barely any heart. They're trying to reinvent the K-drama wheel, but forget why we loved it in the first place. Level 3, mid that went viral. Now we're entering dangerous territory. The dramas that looked like cultural events, but in hindsight were just beautifully packaged mediocrity. These shows went viral, topped Netflix charts, and had everyone convinced they were the next big thing. But ask a real K-drama fan? Nah, we'll pass. They weren't bad, just aggressively fine. Slick, bingeable, algorithm-friendly, but emotionally hollow. The kind of shows you finish, enjoy, and forget a week later. They always start strong. Addictive first episodes, gorgeous leads, and a setup that makes you drop everything to watch. But somewhere around episode 7, the pacing breaks, the plot caves in, and the romance quietly drifts into the background. You keep watching out of habit, not heart.
나 여기 와서 진짜 많은 게 바뀌었어. 너, 명숙 누님, 춘승이 만나면서 아, 인생이 혼자가 아니라는 거.
Take Tastefully Yours. A driven air executive at a food conglomerate secretly runs a Michelin-level restaurant in Jeonju. Enter a fiercely independent chef whose soulful cooking rattles his sterile corporate world and sparks a slow-burn romance. Sleek, aesthetic, full of flavor, but still somehow undercooked. You finish the finale wishing it had just marinated longer. Or My Demon. On paper, it's everything. Kim Yoo-jung as a chaebol heiress with trust issues, Song Kang as a literal demon stripped of his powers, and a contract marriage that slowly turns real. The setup promised chaos, chemistry, and sizzling supernatural romance. Visually, stunning. Stylized shots, high-fashion wardrobes, supernatural flair. And with 2 of the hottest actors of their generation, it was trending every week upon release. But even that couldn't save a drama that ultimately feels a little too mid for its potential. Level 4, the one-hit wonders. Ah yes, the rare breed of K-dramas that accidentally caught lightning in a bottle, only for the spark to burn out just as fast. These are the shows that dominated your feed for a few glorious weeks, broke records, flooded TikTok edits, and had everyone saying, wait, is this the next classic? Spoiler, it wasn't. Take King the Land. The fan edits made it look like a full-course romantic fantasy. Lee Jun-ho in tailored suits, Yoona in pastel smiles, slow-burn banter under corporate lighting.
나랑 같이 저녁 먹을래요?
싫은데요?
내가 왜 싫은데?
But underneath all the charm and aesthetics, it's textbook rom-com comfort food. Nothing wrong with that, but I know for a fact some of you just watched it for the vibes, not the writing. 2521 deserves an honorary mention here too. The first half, perfection, nostalgic, warm, emotionally grounded. But that ending, let's just say it emotionally traumatized an entire fandom and launched 1,000 Reddit debates.
너를 너무 오래 이곳에 세워두었어, 백이진.
It started as a coming-of-age masterpiece and ended as a collective heartbreak we still haven't processed. And of course, nevertheless, the drama that single-handedly caused mass emotional damage and bad decisions worldwide. Everyone swore they wouldn't fall for the red flag, yet somehow, we all did. It went viral because it was relatable chaos, aesthetic, toxic, and painfully realistic. But try rewatching it now and you'll start yelling, "Girl, please," 5 minutes in. These are the K-dramas that gave us moments, not longevity. They lived fast, trended hard, and then quietly disappeared once the next shiny Netflix title dropped. You'll still hum the OST when it pops up, maybe rewatch a clip on your feed, but the full rewatch? Probably never happening. Level 5, the underdogs. These are the dramas that sneaked up on everyone. They looked safe in the trailers, a light rom-com here, a small-town slice of life there, but once they aired, they became unstoppable. They didn't come with massive budgets or overhyped press tours, just good stories, real emotion, and word of mouth so strong that even casual viewers couldn't escape the buzz. Take When the Camellia Blooms, for example. On paper, it's a warm romance about Oh Dong-baek, a single mother who moves to a small town to open a bar named Camellia. But underneath the cozy surface is a gripping mystery. A serial killer targeting women like her. Between laughter, gossip, and danger, the show evolves into a story about resilience, motherhood, and second chances. It's heartwarming, terrifying, and deeply human all at once. Or Extraordinary Attorney Woo, which could have easily been another genius professional show, except it wasn't.
좋아해서 잘해줬습니다.
Woo Young-woo, a brilliant new lawyer on the autism spectrum, faces prejudice and misunderstanding while using her unmatched creativity to win cases. Then there's Business Proposal, the rom-com that had no right being that good. The setup? Classic. A woman pretends to be her friend on a blind date, only to realize her date is her boss. But between the sharp comedy, sizzling chemistry, and self-aware writing, it became an instant comfort show, the kind of drama that made you giggle like it's 2012 again. And Bon Appetit, Your Majesty gave the underdog formula a historical spin.
말하지 말거라.
사실 떠나고 싶지 않았어요.
감히 내 허락도 없이 어딜 간단 말이냐?
Modern-day French chef Yeon Ji-young wins a cooking competition, discovers a magical cookbook, and time slips straight into Joseon. There, she's forced to cook for the perfectionist King Yi-heon, whose hypersensitive palate makes every meal a gamble. What starts as survival turns into a tender culinary romance, a story where flavor becomes love language. These dramas all share one thing: they grew bigger than their premises. They didn't set out to be cultural moments, but they became exactly that. The shows that people kept recommending, rewatching, and quietly loving long after the hype faded. Level 6, the ones that built Netflix K-drama culture. These are the dramas that made Netflix the global capital of K-dramas. Before this, you were out there, refreshing shady websites, closing pop-ups, praying the subtitles synced. And for the newer viewers, you didn't have a clue what a K-drama even was. And even if you did, you swore you'd never like the genre. But now, K-dramas are front and center, right on Netflix's homepage, all thanks to these shows. They're bold, they're cinematic, and they're ridiculously expensive, in the best way possible. These dramas didn't just boost Netflix's catalog, they gave it a new identity. Netflix isn't just a streaming platform anymore, it's the home of K-drama excellence. And somehow, they did it while keeping the heart of what makes K-dramas special. The intimacy, the emotion, the messy, beautiful human connections that pull you in and never let go. Every frame feels curated, every camera movement feels deliberate. You can hear the budget in the orchestral soundtracks, the lighting, the way a single tear gets its own spotlight. These dramas look like movies but feel like home. They've got A-list casts who could headline a Marvel movie without even trying. Direction that belongs in a film festival trailer. Storytelling that transcends language and culture, yet still feels unmistakably Korean. Take Sweet Home. Horror, grief, and survival, all trapped in one apartment complex. It's monster mayhem with heart, and proof that Korea can do genre storytelling on a global scale. Or Kingdom. Joseon politics meets zombie apocalypse. Every sword swing looks cinematic. Every shot feels historical, yet thrilling. It's proof that Korea can rival Hollywood without losing its soul. The Glory showed the world K-dramas could serve brutal social commentary, not just romantic fluff, with Song Hye-kyo leading a revenge tale that had everyone holding their breath. These are the few that shaped Netflix's entire streaming identity. Because of them, Netflix stopped being just a platform. It became the stage for global K-drama storytelling. They're the blueprint, the reason any new K-drama fan can open Netflix, click play, and instantly get the hype. And lastly, Level 7, the one that sealed their spot in history. These are the dramas that hit so deep, so unforgettable, that you're still thinking about them years later. They're the reason so many of us fell in love with K-dramas in the first place, and why new fans keep joining the club. These shows rewrote the rules, defined entire eras, and turned emotional storytelling into cultural moments. Some are older classics, some newer hits, but all feel timeless the moment you watch them. Take Goblin, a sweeping supernatural romance that made heartbreak feel like poetry. Kim Shin, an immortal cursed to live forever, must find a human bride to end his life. Enter Ji Yoon-tak, a spirited teen who can see ghosts and might just be his fate. Past lives, friendship, grief, love, all set against mythic storytelling, unforgettable OSTs, and quotes fans still recite like scripture. Or When Life Gives You Tangerines, a quiet slice-of-life gem set on Jeju Island. Spanning 60 years, it follows A-sun, a dreamer from humble beginnings, and Gwan-sik, the steadfast boy who loves her through every hardship. Soft, nostalgic, and emotionally rich, this one feels like an instant classic, even though it's relatively new. Then there's Squid Game, which needs no introduction. Sure, Season 2 had its issues, but Season 1 was a global phenomenon. On the surface, 456 desperate players enter deadly childhood games for a massive cash prize. Underneath, it's a sharp critique of class, capitalism, and human survival. It turns schoolyard games into psychological warfare. And the world finally realized just how bold a K-drama could be. And of course, Crash Landing on You, the forbidden love story that melted everyone. A South Korean heiress, a freak paragliding accident, and a North Korean soldier with the gentlest heart behind the sternest face. It's funny, romantic, heartbreaking, and swoon-worthy all at once. Yoon Se-ri and Captain Ri weren't just a couple, they were a phenomenon. This was the drama that turned curious first-timers into full-blown K-drama obsessives. These are the dramas that made history, not just in viewership, but in impact. They live rent-free in our hearts, get rewatched every year, and remain the ultimate "you haven't lived until you've watched this" recommendation. They're the pride of K-drama storytelling, and the gold standard everyone else tries to reach. So yeah, that's our 7 levels of K-drama on Netflix. What about you? Which dramas would you place at each level? For me, Genie. Make-A-Wish honestly feels like a solid level 3. All that hype, but the soul? Kinda missing. Let me know your picks in the comments. And while you're here, click on this next video to check out the hottest rising stars in K-drama land right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss them.